Happy Friday, everyone. It is April 3rd, and while the markets in New York are closed for Good Friday, we do have a very big number, and that is 126,000. Now, that was the number of jobs in the U.S. economy added in March, which was a huge disappointment, as economists were expecting 248,000 jobs created. And while the jobless rate stayed at 5.5%, the numbers for February as well as January were revised downward as well. Hello, everyone. I'm Elizabeth Hur in New York, and that number, 126,000 jobs added last month, are actually the weakest jobs gained since December 2013. Here with the details is Danielle Douglas-Gabriel of the Washington Post. Good morning to you, Danielle. And let's dig through some of these numbers here. Why did the hiring disappoint last quarter, and what areas saw the losses? Are we talking energy, manufacturing?
I think one of the biggest areas we saw a lot of losses was within the manufacturing sector, and that includes a lot of oil-related jobs. And of course, as you know, oil prices have plunged in the last few months, and now we're starting to see that pressure on prices manifest through job losses. As oil prices probably start to stabilize, I think we'll start to see that level off, and we may see a creep back up in the number of jobs that are available for folks within that industry.
And you have to wonder, the extreme weather across the country last month especially, could that have been a reason for some of this slowdown?
It's certainly possible. I mean, in the Northeast, you saw that crushing cold. I know we experienced it here in D.C., and a lot of people weren't going out to shop, and as a result, retail sales were pretty weak, and when retail sales are weak, durable goods orders tend to be down, and one thing affects the other, and then you start to see a slowdown in that sector.
And, you know, Walmart, companies like Walmart and McDonald's, they're making news because they are raising wages, actually, and surely you would think this is a good sign for hiring, right?
It certainly could be. I mean, usually when you start to see companies make moves like this en masse, beyond the great publicity it offers for these companies, it also is an indicator that the job market started to tighten. And in order to stay competitive and to keep people in their doors, to keep their associates, they're going to have to start raising rates. And we're seeing this at Walmart, we're seeing this at McDonald's, we saw it at Target. So I think that that is a good indicator. It all depends, though, as to whether people actually want to keep those jobs or even want to apply for those jobs, if they're seeing other opportunities out there that are willing to pay them more.
And finally, the feds, where they had been hinting at raising interest rates in the summer. Now, these weakening jobs numbers, could this, and the slowing down of the corporate profit, could this put them in a bind?
I get the sense that I think the Fed's starting to reassess whether this is the appropriate time to start raising rates. You know, Janet Yellen last week had said that, you know, she's very cautious and she's assessing all of the indicators, economic indicators, to make sure that they're not going to rush this rate increase. And certainly it wouldn't be a rush. They've been hinting at this for at least the last 2 years. But I think when we start to see numbers like this that are definitely beneath what economic expectations were, the Fed will probably reassess whether this is the right time.
Thank you. Once again, Danielle Douglas-Gabriel from the Washington Post. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank
and
you
can, of course, keep up with the latest headlines right here on abcnews.com. You have been watching The Big Number. I'm Elizabeth Hur in New York.